Well, good morning. Wake up Web3. Just got JC this morning. Reptar has had to catch up with some stuff. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Gray. No music. We're still working on getting that done. We do have to worry about copyright type stuff. So that's on the agenda. Let me know if the mic sounds okay. Make sure everything sounded good for you. Yeah, so it's Reptar and I are obviously kind of trading off this week just because we're both super slammed. If he didn't tell you yesterday, I had my kid had an orthodontist appointment. He's just about to get out of his braces, so he's pretty excited. Every appointment, he's like, "Is this the day? Is this the day?" Sorry, bud, it's not the day yet. So coming up soon. So is this my mic working okay today, Mr. Gray? I'll wait to get started here. Good deal. Sounds great. Make sure I don't have any echoes this time, like I did before. All right, let's get into it. And we'll start like we always do. And if Reptar gets done with what he had going on this morning, he will pop in, but he may not be able to make it today. So let me turn on the bubbles. Yeah, there we go. It's a mixed bag today. Today, as we mentioned in the title, today's the Fed rate cut announcement. I'm sure we've all known for weeks now what they're going to do. There's a chance it might be a little bit of surprise, but not much of a chance. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the bubbles here. As I said, it's a mixed bag. You can kind of see some greens, some reds. Ignore this for just a minute. I'll talk about it in just a second because I didn't even know what it was. Okay. Yeah, those are both me. I have to turn that off. Oh, well. We'll get it. So, up 3.9, up 6.1, up 6.2, down 1.5, down 5.7. AVAX a little down, Cake a little up, Pepe a little up. Arrows still pulling good as of yesterday. So we know ICE is happy about that. Let me come over here and click on the correct window. Arrows up, and it's been up. Started the day at 118. All the way back up to 135, to 131. So a good move there. About 13 cents? So a little more than 10% over the course of the day, which is good. What else have we got over here? Cardano or Cosmos, dropped a rank there. Solana up a little. Solana did okay for the last little week, up over 240. Check the week on it. Start at 221, so up 20. That's another 10% move. But up and down, nothing super exciting. Where's Bitcoin? Where's Bitcoin? Here we go. Bitcoin on the daily up $3,000. 2%, whatever. On the week, 113 to 117. If you got lucky and caught the dip here for the month, you're up 10,000. A little less than 10%. Everything's just kind of chopping around as we wait for capital inflows and as we wait for regulations to come in. I did have to look. I was like, what is MYX and why is it? It's been big and green for the last little bit. MYX Finance, you can see just today on the daily, it's up 14 slots. Went from $18 all the way down to $10, back up to $17. Yeah, so it's started out at 94 cents. So when did this move? September 6th, it was at $1.30. Why did this move? That's a great question. I was like, this came out of nowhere. What is it? So I looked. It is, as you can see here, a decentralized derivatives exchange. So it is a decentralized exchange that trades derivatives. So not the actual item itself. Derivatives are not any different in the crypto space than they are in the traditional financial space. In that, I don't understand. I don't trade derivatives, so maybe DJ, we can get him on here someday. Or if you know in the comments why derivatives are usually a lot more volatile and stuff like that, let us know. We don't know everything about everything. Surprise, surprise. Generally, the crypto market. He's still hanging just above 4 trillion, which is great. Fear and greed right smack dab in the middle. Alt season at 70. Yeah, we're definitely moving in towards the alt season. RSI. I do know what that means. It's a technical indicator, but yeah, it's beyond the scope of. I don't teach that type of stuff because while I know what it is, I couldn't explain it to you. Bitcoin hanging out around 117, ETH 4,500. So just to remind everybody, our all-time high here. Let me back this out. All-time high on ETH is going to be, is that it? Is that 47? No, that's what I thought. It's like, back it up. 49.53. Okay, cool. So almost 5,000. We need it to break 5,000. Should be coming shortly. Hope so. My baby XRP hanging out around 3. Tether, I swear, won't move off $1, and yet it's still in the top. Binance, Solana. I like Solana here just because, while I did miss the $12 dip entry, thanks to all the scammy stuff by FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Anyway, let's move on to the actual news today. The big thing we're waiting on is Jerome Powell to announce the Fed rate cuts for today. Here's the probabilities for you. 94% chance of a 25 basis point cut and a 6% chance of a 50 basis point cut. So really, realistically, we're going to get 25 basis point cut. I think the markets have known this for a few weeks now. So just my personal opinion, probably price action is not going to do too much. I will say if something happened and this happened, we got a 50 point cut, we would see, I think, a lot more movement. I'm just basing this all on what I've seen the markets do in the last few years as I've started to learn. If the worst happens and Jerome Powell says we're not going to cut it all, watch things just crash. I don't think that's going to happen based on what he said, and I don't think, CME Group or, JP Morgan or these big financial institutions that are saying they're expecting a rate cut September, October, and December. I don't think they're going to be wrong, but you just never know. You can see here the next one after this will be October 29th and December the 10th. Then we roll into next year. I've even seen some of the big financial boys calling for, between here and here, a total of 5 rate cuts, which would be nice. But you all know they do what they want to do to make themselves the most money. Let's see. Comments about this. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I found this interesting. $2 billion worth of stable coins, USDC, USDT, all of the stable coins that we talk about, coming onto exchanges. What does that mean? They're looking to buy. So I find that could mean one of two things, just me spitballing off the top of my head here. Either, they're expecting a quick dip where they can snag some scalp some lows, or they're just expecting things to run up really high, so they're trying to get their money in before it blows up. Long term, obviously, I think this is the way right here. We talk about this quite often. Warren Buffett's strategy: buy it and never sell it. Of course, you also have to live 70 years after you've invested the money. Yeah, this is me. I bought that Bored Ape for $100,000, and now it's worth $5,000. I'm just kidding. I didn't buy a Bored Ape. Pluto Alliance Tower is another story. We'll tell that story someday. But yeah, so just be this guy. Long term, if you just buy it and hold it, be this guy. But yeah, this is... I find myself agreeing a lot with crypto tips. Like I've said several times here, I do follow these guys on Patreon. It's the only Patreon that I have, just because I think they have their finger on the pulse of a lot of things. But yeah, the Fed's likely to cut rates when the S&P 500 is near all-time highs. Are we there yet? Kind of getting close. Fed has done this 16 times in its history. There you go. And every time the S&P was almost 15% higher. Just the S&P. Stocks going up 15% is kind of a big deal, because year over year, you're looking to get 6 to 8%. So if they go up 15% after these rate cuts as the S&P gets high. Morning, Muna. Good to see you. So if this is historically holding true, then you would expect here within a year the S&P 500 to be up somewhere near 15% by the end of next year. That's as I read what they're saying here. So it's obviously, the more you watch this, the more you realize They are literally just using money flow to manipulate markets the way they want. And they'll say it's for everybody's good. And yeah, are you doing good? Are you better than you were? I don't know. Yeah, I like this guy. The Wolf of All Street says here yeah, Muna Reptar couldn't make it this morning. As you guys know, we both have younger kids, and sometimes just stuff comes up. Yesterday, I had to take my kid to the orthodontist, and just you go when the appointments are because they get booked out months in advance. So you just take whatever time you get, and you don't pitch a fit. Shout out to the other guys watching. I do see there's four folks watching. Appreciate you being here. But this from Wolf of Wall Street's here from Scott Melker. The idea of a hawkish rate cut versus a dovish. Yeah, like we if you've listened to anything Jerome Powell ever says, it's always obvious that he's doesn't want to cut rates. And it's like he waits until the absolute last, like he waits past the last minute. He was, and I say he because he's not the one making these decisions. He's the one announcing these decisions. And, they were late, maybe bumping them up a little bit, maybe raising them to stave off some of the negative economic effects. And now they've been late to stop raising them last year. And now they're late to lower them. And it's just my opinion. This is all a big game. All of the Federal Reserves, which are really just central banks around the world, they play games as to who gets to be first this time. They're all interrelated. The Fed was created by several of the people involved in its creation were the creators and owners of the central banks in England and Europe. So yeah, they're all related. They're not independent. They're all buds. So yeah, this idea, Powell comes out and says something like, yeah, we're going to cut rates, but we're going to keep an eye on stuff and we're not going to cut, just basically dumping all over everybody. I thought this was an interesting point that he made, that the market's first reactions to the Fed is usually wrong. We've seen that the last rate cut, or I'm sorry, the last Fed meeting, when they announced no rate cut, or let's go back even sooner, the last CPI data release a couple of weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, whatever. The numbers came out not great, and the market dumped for like 30 minutes and then took off. So just a reminder, if you're one of those people that tries to trade the action, good luck. God bless you, because I'm just going to do this. Just hold it. Just hold it. Then what else we got? Yeah. So here we go. Today's the FOMC. Realistically, what happens to be a blip in the short term? The dollar is inflating every day. Don't forget it. So especially Bitcoin takes on a similar role to gold. It's just a hedge. You're hedging against inflation. I heard it explained one day like this. Once upon a time, an ounce of gold could buy you a suit, a nice tailored suit. The ounce of gold was $100. So, back in 1920, I'm making this up, but you'll get my point. Back in 1920, $100 could get you a very nice tailored suit for an ounce of gold. Well, yesterday or the day before, gold hit a new all-time high around, $3,900. And yeah, an ounce of gold will get you a very nice tailored suit. So the value of gold in exchange for other items has not changed, just in exchange for the dollar. And the dollar is literally a piece of paper that they just keep making more and more and more of. And if you have one asset that does not change the number, and you have another asset that is valued relative to that, and they keep increasing, well, it takes more of this to get you one of these. I told you before, I did pass Econ 101 in college. That's the basic stuff. So yeah, just keep an eye on, the only way to learn in this space is to watch what happens, watch what people say before something happens, watch the thing as it happens, and then watch the reaction. So we've seen people talking day in and day out about this upcoming rate cut. We have talked here multiple days about future rate cuts coming, And now we just wait for them to happen and see what the market does. And all it does is help us build a framework of, okay, in the past, when this happened, this is what happened. And that you try and build up your mental models there to help you make better decisions going forward. So that's my plan. I'm just constantly trying to learn. I will and Reptar will share as we go and as we learn. That's the whole purpose of our Alpha Origins community. All of us in the community share what we learn and bounce ideas off of each other and say, hey, you forgot about this, or hey, last time this. So hopefully you're here, you're involved in the community watching these videos, and you will throw in your input as well, because I know I have, infinite things to learn and not infinite time. So if you already know, just share that with everybody, please. Just want to hit a couple of basic news things, and then we'll get off here and let you guys get about your day. Reptar talked about it yesterday. What did I do? Right here. Here we go. Reptar's video yesterday was all about, was talking a lot about Chainlink. So you can see that a big bank in Saudi Arabia is going to leverage Chainlink to help with their apps. I just want to throw that out there because I saw it this morning. Big deal. If you didn't know, if you go and look at like the Forbes richest people in the world, number one on that list doesn't compare to the old money that is in the Middle East. These ruling families that have been ruling for 1,000, 1,200 years. They're not on the list because they're not on the list, but it's not close. Elon Musk is not close to the crown family of Saudi Arabia, nowhere near. Or the families in Dubai, UAE, stuff like that. So just since Reptar talked about this yesterday, I wanted to point this out as well. Like I said, that was just a quick bit of news here. What else we got here? Let's do this one. In case you missed it, there's another Trump crypto related thing. Yay! So ABTC is a company. It's not a crypto coin or token. It is a thing. Like MicroStrategies would be a Bitcoin company, but they're a traditional investment company. So ABTC goes public on the NASDAQ, publicly traded. Yeah. We know. So, the Trump family trying to go crypto. I hope they're successful, because as the rich people in the world go crypto, my bags increase in value because their bags increase in value. Just a little barnacle attaching myself to a whale. That's all I'm trying to do. Here's the MYX stuff. Got some people talking about it. Looks like a short opportunity here. If you do the trading stuff, take a look at it. Follow people that do analysis on this type of stuff. And if you like that stuff, like I said before, good luck. God bless. I have, as I left my previous career in law enforcement, I did start learning some day trading strategies, and actually did pretty well until I didn't. And I realized that the stress and risk was too much for me, and decided I would go into more of a long-term hodl type thing with crypto. And I want to leave you, unless Mr. Gray or Muna has anything they want to add in the comments here, I want to leave you with this picture right here. This is us. We're pre-rich. You bought the right altcoins, you're pre-rich. See, that's me, pre-rich. Driving my little car, my little Kia. I'm not a big fan of the big watches. Got the stack of money on the seat there. It's virtual. But yeah, that's what you tell the ladies, right? I got millions in crypto. I have billions in crypto. I have 1 billion Shiba Inu tokens. Not really. But yeah, Mr. Gray, Muna, you got anything for me? If not, we will say, have a wonderful Wednesday. It's Wednesday already. It's, guys, I can't tell you how freaking busy it is. If you've got, if you're watching this, you've got kids, you freaking know they are they're at school, so I can do this while they're at school. But then immediately after school, they've got activities and activities and activities and school activities and sports and dance. Oh man, music and ballet, and it's fun. It's great to be able to be here and get them to and from. But yeah, boys, does it get busy. But yeah, Mr. Gray, appreciate you. Thanks, Muna. Everybody who's watching live or on the replay, we do appreciate you. I hope you do get some value from the information. That's right. That's right, Mr. Gray. We do have game night tonight. So every Wednesday night in our Discord, we host a live event where we get in the Discord, we all hang out, we talk about the day's news. Particularly, we focus a little more on Web3 gaming. So if you want to know what's going on in that space, we do talk a lot about that. We goof off. We talk about our hot sauces right here that Rundown Ron, our Canadian sauce maker, made for us. These are special editions. So thanks, Ron. Shout out to you. And then, we'll talk about Alluvium. We'll talk about what's going on with Serum City. Some news on that tonight. We'll announce our holders giveaway. We do have a raffle for holders right now. We'll give some prize. We'll play some random games that you can play in Discord or on Twitch. And if you win, we'll give you some prizes. So if that sounds interesting, jump in our Discord. Our Discord's always on our page here. But hope you have a great Wednesday. Hope you got some value. Hopefully the information works out well for us, and hopefully we can all work just a little less hard next year thanks to our crypto bags. Just be Warren Buffett and buy it and don't sell it. But if you want to, do whatever you want. It's financial advice that we don't give, so I'll give you life advice. Do whatever you want. Just good luck. Thanks, guys and gals.